They're going to take us down. Hi, all. Good evening. Whoops. Hit the table. Welcome to the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and all spirits are served. Tonight's special guest is Michelle Kent Hubble, and she goes by
Zombie Girl.
Zombie Girl. Hi, Bella. Hi, Steve. Hi, Joanne. Hi, everybody's joining us tonight. Zombie Girl is how I know Zombie Girl. Actually, I think tonight's the first time I've seen her real name. Yeah. We have dialogued back and forth by Zombie Girl and Julie, and she is an amazing woman. She makes dolls. You're retired, correct?
Yes.
And you just retired.
Well, I retired a couple years ago. It was just in August was my last day, which was in 23. So
that's awesome.
I enjoy it.
So what Zombie Girl does, and a lot of you know, Bella knows because Bella's got a doll from you. Brandy's Bella's mom. Brandy says hi too. We all order in special order dolls, and she creates the magic and the mystery and the spirituality of our dolls. She brings them to life, and she is absolutely amazing in what she does. So I want to start out because some of you guys have not had time to log on to her page. And yes, Greg, I am on tonight. I'm trying to watch two different formats here. This is one of my custom dolls that Zombie Girl made. I've got to show her beautiful dress. She has a broom. She has tattoos on her arms, like me. She has a beautiful skirt. I'm trying not to lift it up, but I'm not doing a very good job. There you go. And this particular beauty comes with a voodoo doll, which those of you guys that know me know that I'm initiated in voodoo. So I have my voodoo doll, and then I have Mr. Ken Konecki Kitty, who you guys have all seen on my Zoom, Mr. Konecki. And then for my podcast, I've got cat hair up my nose. I'm not trying. I swear I'm not doing drugs. I'm like, whoa. I've got cat hair everywhere. This is my custom doll because for those of you guys who have not seen my logos and my merch yet, soon to be out, this is one of my merch pictures. She's a spiritual doll, and she's in a sarong. And again, she's got beautiful, wrong shoulder, beautiful ink designs and a hand-stitched face. And those of you that have had readings by me and know me know my dear companion that comes in.
I love that one.
And this is my little ghoul guy. And so when I say I'm calling in my little ghoul guy, this is my little ghoul guy. And he is just a part of me. And he's part of her. And so those are my dolls that were made. And I have to share those first because they come with beautiful stories. And Michelle also writes the stories, and you create a lot of your own stories unless they're custom, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's something new. When I first started, I was just doing the death certificate with my dolls. Well, actually, when I started, I didn't do anything. I just, sold my dolls and tested the market to see if anybody would even want them. I've always been fascinated with Halloween, so I knew I wanted to create something to keep my time now that I'm retired. And the dolls came to me in my dream. And whenever somebody tells me about a doll, what they want, I just kind of sleep on it and think about it. And the pattern and design just comes to me. And I just put it on pattern, start sewing
She
away.
does an amazing job. Brandy says, yes, she does. You just give her an idea. You get a doll, a story, and so much more. Greg says, hi. Steve wants to know, so are you trying to bring dolls to life? You do voodoo? Or are you trying to put a spirit into these dolls? No, that's not my purpose at all. She brings life in the form of a story.
Yes.
To a doll. And the spiritual thing is we connect with the dolls that we want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is my pod representative. This is my, what do I want to call it? It's my merchandise logo. And so when I say I bring it to life, it's like my idea and my spirit is in it as much as she has put her love and her time into it as well. Am I saying that correctly?
Correct. You just customers I do a lot of special orders, custom orders, I should say. And a lot of it is just somebody sends me pictures of ideas, inspiration for me. I like this. Mm-hmm. I like this, kind of like what you did. You sent me pictures of your logo and kind of the colors that you wanted. And then I kind of put it together and then I want to know about the person, what their story is. And I have to have a name for a doll.
Except for my little bull doll who does not have a name. Yeah. And that's by his choice.
And then the customer will tell me a little bit about them, what they want the doll to represent. I just finished working on a hippie doll for a customer today, and she wanted to be like an ancestor doll. She wants to pass it down to Sparrow, her granddaughter. Mm-hmm. And hers is her hippie. She had me do a story about going to, gosh, what was it? It was, sorry, I'm kind of foggy anyways. Let me see. Her story, what did I send her? Okay. Her story, she wanted it, well, I'll tell you what she said. She gave me the name, Lizzie Beth, and she said the story she wanted to talk about was a hippie doll that had visited different areas of the world, like Woodstock, Martin Luther King, watched the moon landing, the civil rights protest, the Summer of Love movement. So she gave me that information. I'm still waiting to hear a response from her to see if she likes the story that I just told. And I acted like it was the grandmother speaking to her granddaughter. So awesome. And it's a nice story. I'll be posting it out here soon once it's approved by the customer, because I like to make sure that they like the story before I print it. But with that, I try to make the story, and that makes it more unique. A lot of customers just say, oh, make whatever you want. Well, I can make whatever I want, but the thing is, I like each one of my dolls to be special, unique for the customers. If there's a special color you like, or they tell me a little bit about themselves, and they'll send me pictures. Like pretty soon, tomorrow I start a steampunk doll. I've never done a steampunk doll.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh my gosh.
And it's a girl. So I'm kind of excited to get started on her. And then after that, I've got a leprechaun. And what was the next one? It's Gypsy. So
that'll be fun too. And her colors are so amazing. Like I said, and she said, you just give her an idea and she goes with it. Like I said, I wanted,
you just sent me a logo, I think, of yours.
I did. And you said, what kind of clothes do you want on her? And I said, well, I want this golden, almost like a underdress or a slip. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted a sarong type of thing with a and she's got a kick pleat, and she goes all the way around. So I mean, it's just beautiful in the colors, and then she just takes it in. I've got a lot of good comments coming up. Let me see. Becky says hello. Spartan says hello. Brandy says you're such a talented writer, and you are. And Sal is on. You just recently sent him a doll.
Oh yes, it was a surprise for his wife. I get nervous about that, because I want to be unique to the person, but he says I captured it correctly.
Yeah,
I hope
he was very impressed. Very impressed. Steve says if people only, sorry, flip my words, understand how deep the spiritual realm goes. It does. It goes extremely deep, and we were talking about that before the show. Because yes, Steve, I am capable of putting things into vessels. That is not the purpose for these dolls. I have to specify that. I have vessel homes for vessels. And unlike, the stories on TV and the things like that, I don't run around and put people unwilling and unknowingly into vessels. That's not what we do. And there's no reason for that. But I do contain negative entities in vessels and do things like that until I can unload them places. I never turn them loose in fairs or things like that when I'm working on cleaning people. You don't turn that stuff loose on people. You have to be respectful with things like that. Spartan says, I'm so excited. She just finished my doll. Fisher Mauve? Fisher Mauve. Is that the name of the doll? Fisher Mauve.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I've shipped her yet. I think she's because she's out of town.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
She doesn't want me to ship her until next week, but I just finished her. I think
she has her dolls. If those of you watching, you can see her dolls are lined up on her counter there. I told her, bring your dolls. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you can see the material. It has a shine to it.
Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. She has such spirit.
I want her sleeve to kind of be long or hair away.
Beautiful.
See the colors, but yeah, she'll be going out soon. Some of these are already sold. I just have to ship them off. I'll show them in a little bit, but I try to make each doll unique for that person. It makes me feel good knowing that there's a little bit after I go, there's a little bit of me left in the world, and it makes me feel good that other people appreciate it. Cause I do put a lot of love in each doll. It's not just something I whip out.
You do. And that's a spiritual thing. Like a lot of people don't understand that when you put your heart and your soul into something, that becomes a spiritual thing. The love with the stitches you're sewing, the love and the detail, because when anybody makes something, you don't want it made with anger and made with hate. You want it made with love. And you can tell the difference in a piece that's been received, that's been made with that love and that peace, or something that is not, nobody gives a shit when they make it, for real. You want something from China, order it from China. But if you want something that's handmade, that is a piece that can be handed down to people with that love, like Brandy says, her doll will be handed down. She loves it. My dolls, the amount of love and the energy, and that's the first thing I said when I opened them up. It was, you can feel the love and you can feel the energy. And you may not be a metaphysical worker, but you are a metaphysical worker because you're bringing these dolls to life for those of us that ask for them.
No, and I really enjoy doing it. They make, I've always done crafts and things and created items. I've been artistic my whole life. But it just felt like this doll wanted to be made. It came to me in my dreams, and I enjoy doing it. And it's not just my creativity, but it's my customers, because they really push me, here, I want you to try to do this and do that with my doll. And, I try to make them come to life. I try to give them exactly what they want. And that one with that
one pushed her. She's like, I don't know about this. I don't know how this is going to work.
It's kind of scary. With the teeth and everything, I had to do those. It's the only way I can make his teeth pop is to hand stitch those.
Find there.
Yeah,
so for those of you guys, those are hand stitched teeth. and the nappy hair, and then like he's got drawn on little muscles. And then he's got his little coat and then his little booties. But that was, that was not like a doll that you're going to see on her webpage. That was an unusual request.
No, yeah, nothing that I created. A lot of my dolls, probably 80% of the dolls that are on my page are ones that my customers created. And something I might not think I like, and customer really, really likes it, and I sell a ton of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on that person. Everybody's taste is different.
Mm-hmm. But they get what they want with you, and that's the nice thing is you can send to you what you want, and you get it made, and it comes fast. That's what Brandy says. Spartan says, "Oh, I can't wait. She is beautiful." Becky says, "Woohoo, Gypsy is awesome."
I'm still thinking of that one. She'll come to me tonight, as she was just an order today. So I've got to think of her yet, but I'm sure I'll come up with something.
Bella
but
says
I'm really excited about the steampunk. I've never done anything with steampunk except for like a little doll. A customer wanted one of these tiny little boy steampunk.
Oh, look at him. Yeah. He's little.
Yeah. I don't like doing the little ones.
They're harder.
Well, honestly, you're the one who created the little doll. I didn't want to do a little doll. But after I made your little doll, I'm like, I fell in love with him. I mean,
but they're hard. They're a bitch to make.
That tiny, to get that material to try to turn it inside out and then try to stuff it, it's not pleasant. So I just did them because I just felt like some of the dolls really needed to have one. But I don't like making them. I just did this one for Valentine's Day. I sold a few of them, and she's got her little doll with her.
Oh, look at her.
And
oh my gosh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, and then her skirt's got the little, I hand-stitched little hearts on them. But I love her. I thought she was so cute with the little, she just had to be. Some of these dolls talk to me, and they tell me what they want.
And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about when I say it's a whole spiritual thing, and she brings the dolls to life. They have a story to be told.
Oh, yours gave me attitude. She wanted it all. The lace and everything. I'm like, no, I need bling. And she but yeah, no, they'll give me attitude and want certain things.
And that's what I mean by that's what I mean when I say, she brings it to life. Like, she's got her necklace. She's got her bling. She has the pretties. She has the really nice tattoos, like elegant. And then her face, because of the blue, is hand stitched as well.
I had to hand stitch it. Otherwise, you'd never see the blue. But no, I try to put a little bit of tattoo on all my dolls. But they've kind of changed since I first developed them. First, they were kind of a rag, kind of like the neck would droop and stuff, because I was doing the zombie deal. But then I didn't like that because when they sat up, their head was always down, and that's not comfortable for a customer. They want to see their faces.
Mm-hmm.
I figure out how to get them to stand, and so, but they develop as I go. I've learned more, and I learn new techniques as I start making them.
Well, they get more defined as you're able to define them. Their requests are going to become more and more. I mean, I hate to say that, but the dolls bringing that life and wanting that story told as well. And that sounds really strange, but that is so true. They do tell their story. Greg says, does Michelle say batshit crazy?
Oh yeah. If anybody knows me, I'm not normal.
Well, normal's a cycle on the wash machine, dear.
Yeah,
That's all it
yeah.
is. We're not normal.
Yeah, I'm in my own little world, and I'm
Becky's,
fine with that. My mom
I
always says, "When are you going to grow up?" I'm like, probably never. I mean, I'm going to
never,
be immature and enjoy life. You never know
never,
when your last day is, so
no,
enjoy it.
never. Becky says warrior goddess doll would be a good one. Got to get the finances together. Yep, yep. But they're reasonable, Becky. That's the thing. Like, to me, these things are so reasonable. And like I said, she gets them out so fast. And the stories, I mean, that was the part that hooked me is the whole, the dynamic coming to life of the story.
It's hard because I don't know that person, that's, when you're a customer, you'll tell me a little bit, but a lot of customers don't tell me much, and I just kind of have to play it, and I kind of cross my fingers, and I have no problem changing it up, because I want to try to grasp that person. And I never used to post the stories, because they're so long, and I didn't know if people would want to see that on my page, because they had to read all that, with it. But I started posting it, and I've got an overwhelming response from the stories. So now I continue to post the stories with each one of my dolls. I wish I had started it sooner. I just didn't think people would want them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I always say it's your page. You do what you want to do for your page. I mean, we're going to come. The right people are going to find your page, and they're going to be in love with what it is that you do. And so you worry about your people and your stories and your dolls. I would never worry about what anybody else wants, because your fans and your people interested in that are going to definitely promote your stories. That's part of it. That's the beauty in what you do. It's the storytelling. I can't tell a story. I can read bones. I can read a person, but to make up a story that goes with something that you've put life and love into is a whole different. You have to be a fabulous writer to be able to do that.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm that, but I've always said I'm full of shit, so to speak. So I just, it just kind of comes with me. So it kind of flows. I enjoy doing it.
Do you do fairs with your dolls?
I haven't. I did. I always thought when I got enough of them made, I'd try to do one. But in town, I live in Dixon, Illinois, and we had a fair here, Carnival, and I brought them up there, and I sold a few, but not everybody's into these dolls. It takes a certain type of person. So I don't think I'll do them, simply because unless it's a specific fair. I've had ones where, like last year, somebody reached out from a steampunk, but I had never done steampunk. And they said, "Oh no, your dolls will be great." And then there's one in another town where they do witches and stuff. And they said, "Oh, bring all your dolls up. They'll sell good." But I could never get the inventory built up enough to actually participate in one. And because usually if I have a few now, most of those are already sold. I just have to ship them out. It's hard for me to build up because I take care of my folks now that I'm retired. Take care of my parents Monday through Friday. So,
wow,
I work on them when they're taking their nap. So that's my downtime. I'll work on them and then I'll come home. But it's relaxing to me. I enjoy doing it, and I have to dedicate a couple of days to my husband. So, so I don't want it to become a full-time job. I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it, and that's what I wanted to continue to do. I've had people reach out to me and want, bulk orders, and that just takes out the fun out of me. And even going to where's Mardi Gras at? They said, New Orleans. They said, yeah. Store had reached out to me in New Orleans, and I could get more for my dolls. But again, it's bulk orders, and I just don't have that kind of time. And I'm retired. I don't have to.
Well, no, and it's hard. Like you said, if you don't have the ability, the desire to do that many, and it takes the love and the fun out of it, then you've lost the purpose in doing that, because it's something you enjoy.
And that's just it. And I don't want to. And I told my husband, I said, eventually when he retires, I said, I see me doing this for a long time, simply because I enjoy doing it, and I don't want it to take away the fun out of it. Otherwise I won't do it. I like knowing that there's a little bit of me somewhere and it made somebody's day. And that's the whole purpose, is I want to see people's reaction and to make sure that they enjoy it, and I really do put a lot of love in each one of my dolls.
Do you catch yourself, well, you said they talk to you. Do you catch yourself talking to the dolls while you're working on them?
Oh yeah, especially the naughty ones.
So define that.
Oh, you put my eye on. No, that is not how I wanted it. And I've got that hippie doll right now that I did today. She's already given me attitude about her eye, and I think I'm going to have to change it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't think I like it, but I'm waiting for her mom to say something. I had just done this one.
I love her.
Well, it was spring. I wanted something sunshiny, a little bit of sunshine. And this one I had just done for a customer, but see that eye? I don't know if I like that. I think it doesn't stand out enough. And this one comes with, they got to have a little purse, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, look at that.
Oh, and she does have earrings.
She has attitude.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. I think I have to change that eye, but I'm waiting for her mom to tell me what she says. But no, they'll tell me if they don't like it. But usually customers, they don't want me to change anything. But if they do, I have no problem. I mean, I want it to be exactly what they want
it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. That way they'll hold on to it, because I hate to ever see a doll just get thrown in a corner, and then I don't want to hear about it, because there is so much love in them.
There is. Now I have to ask, when they come to you and they talk to you, do they talk to you in your dreams, or do they talk to you while you're like working on them?
Dreaming, I think about how I'm going to create them in my dreams. Their vision, it all breaks it all down, and when I'm making them, that's when they talk to me. When I'm actually putting them together, that's when they give me their usually good attitude, but they get kind of different sometimes.
Well, they get sassy.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word, sassy.
They do. And for anybody that's ever worked with dolls, whether it be because of the energy, I really believe, because of the amount of time and the amount of energy you spend picking out the material and picking out the outfits and thinking about the storyline, you're creating an energy flow, and energy it's never created or destroyed. It's there. It has to mutate into something, and it's going to let you know it's there. And once you start bringing it to life, dolls are one of the biggest things that will take on that.
I've had customers that they have like 14 of them, and they've got them all just lined up, and it just brings so much happiness in their life. And not everybody has the perfect life. And I'm glad that these dolls bring happiness to them. When they're having a bad day, they can look at the doll and it makes them feel good. And that's the whole purpose of the doll, is to make people feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Greg says you're a wonderful doll builder, Michelle.
Well, thank you.
She does an excellent job. And, I think there's a few people on here that are paranormal people. And I think, we all know from going into houses or going into institutions where there's been dolls will contain, and I think Steve kind of touched on this as well, dolls will absorb or contain the energy of their hosts. And so, if the doll got started in a very negative home, negative environment, you wouldn't necessarily want to be purchasing that doll. We collect those dolls from scary places. Some of us do have dolls, and we collect dolls that have been through abusive situations or traumatic situations, or the people have had trauma and it's passed on to the dolls, and they become dolls that are possessed dolls or haunted dolls or whatever you want to call them. Mm-hmm. They have energy in them that's positive and negative. But these dolls that come to you that are made, that was my whole point about bringing them to life. They come to you with her energy, and it's up to you to make them your energy and make them your dolls.
And that's just it. I want to be a reflection of that person, not me. I don't, they're definitely made with love, but I want them to be a reflection of that person. That's why I really like to know a lot about that person, if at all possible. And they say, oh, just give it a name. I'm like, no, it's more special when you supply me with the name. It makes it more personal, I think. And I enjoy that. And that's exactly what I want to do.
So how many dolls do you make a week?
Not many, because it takes a couple days to make one. I make up the bodies ahead of time. I have somebody that makes the bodies. They'll stuff them. They'll sew them and stuff them for me, and then I have to put them together, and that helps me. But the dolls, there's a lot of time put into each doll. So if I can get 5 done a week, then that's a good week for me. But like I said, I don't like to work that hard, because I'm working then from like 9 o'clock in the morning till 8, 9 o'clock at night. And that just
Takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. So, no, I like to stick to like 3 or 4, and I'm comfortable with that.
Not pushed and not rushed, and you can take your time. And
because like I said, I want the love in them. I want them to be, I don't want to be rushed. I want them to reflect that.
And you do such a good job with that. So what's your favorite type of doll to make, or do you have a favorite?
No, because it always changes. I loved my Halloween ones that I did. They're just, because Halloween's like my favorite. I love Halloween. I used to go crazy with Halloween parties. But it just depends on a mood. Like right now, I like making the hippie dolls only because I need that sunshine, because it's wintertime and it's so dark and dreary. But when, like those dolls with that shiny dress, the sorcerers, or a voodoo doll, or those are fun to make because they get to be all beautiful, like a princess. They're fun to make. So I'm kind of really excited about this steampunk, because I've never made one. I like challenging myself to be creative, and I just hope that they turn out the way that the customer wants it to be.
Well, you nailed it with the boy. You nailed steampunk with him.
Well, I've got some really great ideas. I've got a ton of fabric, but you know what? It's not the right type of fabric I want, because the girl she wants it in mauves. She wants, I can picture her bustier, and I don't have the fabric that I want here, so now I have to go out and buy more, which is making me a little bit nervous, because Joann's is going out of business.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Joann's is going out of business. Yeah, I especially in our town where we're at, they're doing their markdowns every Thursday, and then all I have is Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby doesn't do much for material, and they don't do Halloween at all.
No, they don't, do they?
No,
now that you mention that, they'll do fall. They'll do a lot of fall things, but they don't do Halloween there.
And I had bought a bunch of material, and then if I find a certain material, I'll get on Etsy or something, and I'll buy a bunch of it if I can't get it around here. But material's so expensive, so I'm hoping I'll go to Joann's and kind of get an idea of whatever they have to kind of stock up on, because I do see me continuing to make this only because I enjoy doing it. I'm just glad that there's people out there that appreciate them and want to buy them, because that way you can, because I enjoy, like I said, I really enjoy making them. I'm just happy that people, I didn't know it, if people would even be interested in them. I just put them on Facebook one day, and I thought, well, I'll see what it does, and it took off. I was going to make my own web page. I had started a website. It was going to be Dream Doll Designs, and I had gotten the logo and everything. And I just been getting so many orders that I decided not to do it. I took the website down before I even had it I had like 80% done.
Oh, wow.
And I was afraid that I'd get just like Etsy. I didn't want to put it on Etsy because I was afraid I'd get too many orders, and I don't like to be rushed. I want to enjoy making them. So how I'm doing it now is just having that page on Facebook, Zombie Girl, and it's making me happy because I can enough to keep me busy, and I'm making people happy. Like I said, I don't want it to be a job.
Well, when it becomes work, it doesn't have that spark. It's not something that you look forward to creating. And I think even with that, creativity goes down even further because it's a chore. I mean, that's like being creative when you're house cleaning. I mean, you can only vacuum so many different ways, and it's no longer fun. I mean, for real.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
You know, Greg says, I've never run into a builder like you that really makes me interested in probably getting one. Yeah, that's the amazing thing is, you just pick something out of your imagination or a character that you love, because you've done Alice in Wonderland type things.
I did Beetlejuice. I still have Beetlejuice somewhere. My version, of course. And this is my version of Beetlejuice.
Oh, look at that.
Can you see his eyes?
He looks good. Personality.
Yeah. But that's my version. And then this is Lydia. I love Lydia. I couldn't do the red dress. She wanted to be in black.
I can't see Lydia in red. No.
But she's supposed to be. And I just found this material, and I fell in love with that material. And I'm like, what can I make with that material? And that's when Lydia came to me.
She's beautiful.
I love her. I think she turned out beautiful. Then I had to get the little charms for them. But yeah, no, I just fell in love with that. So if I see a certain material that I fall in love with, I'll buy it. And I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? I got to make something special. Just like
Coraline, right? You've done Coraline.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had seen a picture on your website.
Like that material. Yeah, I did one for a customer. I don't have one here. But, and then, of course, you had to have the 3 girls for Halloween.
Oh.
I hope you can recognize who they are.
Brandy, are you watching? Yes.
Can you tell who that is? And then, of course, we have our blonde.
Oh, yes.
And that's her little dress.
The 3 sisters. Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I love her hair.
Oh, look at that. And look at her smile. Like, yes.
Yeah, the crooked smile.
Oh, my gosh.
I put the little cat on her little pocket.
The Sanderson sisters.
That's it, the Sandersons.
And I bet you would throw in a black candle if anybody bought those 3.
Well, yeah, the mouth. I just love that.
That droopy.
Yeah. So you never know. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that's really unique. They're all kind of different, and they're all unique in their own way.
I was going to say, you've made them all unique.
This one I love. That's going out, I think Tuesday. I love her face.
Oh,
I found this yarn that I just fell in love with, and that's the other thing. I had to find the right type of yarn, but she's got the little webs, and then the little witch. But I think she's my little spider witch.
She is
beautiful.
She's got
some tattoos too on her neck, and the little tear. I started with a tear on all the dolls, and then people were saying, "No, I don't want a tear because it makes them feel sad," which they are, but
that's part of it. I mean, they were zombies. Some of them were zombies, so of course.
And that's how they started off, with zombies, because they all had the sad face.
Greg says Bella Lugosi. You should do a Bella Lugosi doll.
What is it? They want me to do one. I can't even think of the name. Gosh, I can't even think of it. But no, I get all sorts of people asking me for different. I said, well, send me a picture because I can kind of create it my own version, but I prefer it if the customer kind of shows me what they like. That way I can make sure I can grasp exactly what they're hoping. Because like I said, they're $75 a doll, unless it's a really fancy doll like that voodoo priestess. Holy cow. That one, I had to get material shipped from Canada, and that was $50 a yard.
Oh my gosh.
That was crazy. And then people wanted rattlesnake bones on them. So the customers would buy the rattlesnake bones and ship them to me. And, because every person wants their own little deal. But if I have to,
their little signature thing that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it represented that customer. And but if the material gets too expensive, then I have to charge more because otherwise I'm in the negative.
Well, yeah. Well, your time, your energy, and then the product as well. $75, you cannot beat that.
Well, I try to keep it down. My husband keeps going, go up, go up. I said, no, because I want it. It's not about, it is, the money I want to make sure I recoup. But I said, I just want to make sure I reach out to people because not everybody can afford that either. And a lot of people, save up, for it. This lady just texted me. She wants $4 and she's been saving for a while. And I think she must have got her tax money. I don't know. But she says, I'm getting it for all my grandkids. I got to, and I'm like, that's fine, but never know.
And it's to me in a day where finances are tight.
It is.
And they are. But to have something that you can hand down to your kids or your grandkids, that's an investment. And then again, just the comfort, like you said, dolls are
kind of like a pet. If you have a pet that you love and it makes you happy, not everybody has. Some people have allergies. They don't want the maintenance of a pet. But that pet will give you that special love. Well, these dolls, to me, they bring happiness just as well.
Yeah, and they do. Like I have mine setting out in places, and I haven't started my fair season since I got the dolls, but my fair season is starting, and they're definitely coming with me. I mean, they will be tabled behind so people don't have their hands on them, because again, you don't want everybody to pick up and put on their energy. It's a whole energy transference thing. But I do want them to be there, and I want people to see the beauty of them, and especially my podcast merch, because here I've got the merch that looks like that. You saw the picture.
I love that. That's beautiful.
You guys can't wait to see the shirts and the stuff, because it's going to be absolutely tremendous.
Bright and vibrant.
Yeah, and you can see it. And then this little guy, like he's peeking out from all the corners.
He was a little shit making.
He's a little shit, period.
Does he give you grief at all? I mean, does he talk to you?
He does, and he has such an attitude with me, and I have to take, we talked about, I don't know who, I can't say who owns who and who controls who, because that's the whole control aspect of him not giving me his name. Is I can't control him that way. Like I don't know whether I can call him back. I don't know. I mean, I can call him in and he shows up.
Does he know that represents him?
Yes.
Does he? What's he think of?
He shakes his head like,
okay.
Like he's just like, I think he thinks I'm weird and crazy anyway. But clearly I needed him or he wouldn't have shown up. So, and some of you guys are new to my pod and don't know the story. Wait a minute. Tanya says they just bring a smile each time you look at them. They do. They're like, they make you happy. You cannot. And this, yeah, he is an ornery little shit. So when I was doing cleansing work at a fair, I was actually, it was day one, and I had grounded myself and was sitting there, and I ground for those people that are on that actually know me. I ground with plant medicine. So I am a Hapé user, which is an Amazonian plant snuff. So it's got ground up plants and it's got tobacco, and you huff it. You have a pipette and you huff it. And it takes you to a grounding zone, if it will. So my place is the stuff I use usually takes me into the earth, and I wrap around in the earth and I get my messages, and it zones me down so that I'm well grounded for a large show and can read people halfway intelligently with a lot of stuff going on around me. And this little dude walked in while I was grounding and said, you're going to be working with me. And I'm like, no, bye. And move on your way. And he said, no, I'm going to hop into you, and you're going to be working with me, and you're going to have to say yes. And I don't do that. I don't work with things I don't know. I don't work with things that I don't understand. And nonetheless, he insisted. And I was just like, no. And he goes, well, here I come. And inside he came, and he kind of like joined me. It's a weird story for those of you that work paranormal. Some people would consider that jumped by a spirit. That's kind of what it was. And he's been with me ever since. And he does show up as, a red-eyed anime type character, chompy dude. He has pointed teeth. He's a negative energy eater. He eats the crap, the negative shit out of people. So when I'm working on people and it's deep, and I kind of don't want the trauma of bringing that internally or working that through my body to get it out of them, he goes in and takes care of it. So, but I don't have a name. It's the only thing I don't have is a name, and he won't give me that, because once you have the name, you have control. And so it's a mutual thing. I control me, and I guess he controls him, and we work together in unison. But that's why it was so important that I brought him to life too. And what's interesting, and he's not on tonight, but sometimes he shows up on my pods. The guy that created that picture for my merch and for the doll that I used for you, I told him, like, this is my inner spiritual thing. I want to give you some ideas. You've seen pictures of my hair up, and I'll pull it up with things, and I'll stack it, and I bring it down, and I do all kinds of crazy stuff with my hair at shows. He put it in an AI program that he has, and the dude showed up.
Oh, you're kidding.
Not at all. That was the thing. What I told him was, I have a little school that works with me. Did not describe him at all. And I made sure I did not describe him, because I wanted to see what I would get. I'm just that kind of person, and I don't tell anybody the whole story. I will never tell anybody the whole story, because number one, it's my story. It's a personal story, but and not everybody needs to know the details. But there are certain people like you that tapped into that energy and brought it to life. And sure as shit, when he sent me the pictures, the first thing I said to my husband was, oh my God, my little ghoul is right there. How did he know he's that color? How did he know he looked like that? Like, AI brought that out.
Wow.
So
fascinating.
It's, things are as they're supposed to be in the world of energy. And you turned around and created him perfectly. And I didn't give you them. I gave you a picture, but you brought that to life. You brought life to that picture. So he just shakes his head. I mean,
I didn't want to make him. He was that tiny little guy, and because of him, I had to make some more, because I just fell in love with him. I just thought he was so cute. Little monster, though, boy.
Yeah, and he
sure you want those? And he goes, "Yep, I want those teeth."
Yeah, well, the chompy teeth are what cleans everything out.
Yes,
so, I mean, I respect the chompy teeth, and I'm a big fan of anime. So, the anime ghouls have chompy teeth too, but they don't look quite like him. I don't know. He's my own little ghoul, I guess, or I'm his human. I'm not sure which way it goes. He's probably sitting there going, this is my asshole human. And it's what it is. What it is. So poor Michelle, she came on tonight, like she's catching a cold.
Oh, I've got a sore throat and a head cold. So I'm like,
she's like, be nice to me tonight. Be nice.
Yes.
Has it been too hard on you yet?
No, not at all. It's just past my bedtime. An old lady now.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Jim. We got people still joining us. That's the funny thing. 9 o'clock is a good zone, and people go back, and a lot of people will watch the pods like as they're going to bed. They'll put it on and they may fall asleep during it, whatever. Or they go back and they watch it. But I don't have a huge amount of competition at 9 o'clock, which is nice for my people. But people do go back and watch it, and it is past everybody's bedtime, because I've had coastal people on the East Coast, and bless their hearts, they're like, shit, it's 11 o'clock going into 12 o'clock and we're exhausted, and we haven't even had dinner yet and you're keeping us up. It's a whole thing. What do your folks think about you making dolls?
Well, my mom, she's blind in one eye, got glaucoma in the other, and her vision isn't too good. She used to be crafty. She loved doing crafts with me when we were younger. But she loves it. So I'll work on something. She goes, okay, what did you make today? So the dolls that I made over the weekend, I'm going to bring them to her and she'll get to see them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because she really enjoys looking at what she can see. Like I said, her vision isn't real nice. But she enjoys doing it. My dad's always, do you get any orders today? You get any orders? I'm like, gosh, Dad, is that your last one? I'm like, Dad, knock it off. They just
he's your organizer. He's organizing your merch.
Yeah, no, they enjoy it. I've always been creative. I enjoy trying new things. I've always been artistic since I was little. I've had scholarships for art since I was in grade school, and then I had full ride in college, and I didn't take it because I was scared. But I've done we live along the river, and I painted a mural on our seawall, and then it flooded. And
oh no.
Yeah. I didn't, they say it never floods here. Well, it flooded after that. But I'd always had the boaters drive by and always wanting to see, what I've done and what I've created. And I've always painted.
Excuse me. What'd you do in your past life? Like your non-retired life, before retirement?
Before retirement, I was a store manager. I was a store manager at Kroger. That's what I did. I did that for 18 years. And
bless your heart.
That's
not
an easy thing. I like myself as the cool boss, because I always worked right with my employees. If they ever struggled and couldn't get caught up, or if they had a bunch of customers like at the deli, I'd get behind the counter and help them. Or if they wanted to get out and they needed some cleaning, I don't have a problem cleaning. They all miss me now. And I had an ex-employee message me today just to see how I was doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it's stressful. It was stressful. And my husband finally gave me the permission for, that I could retire, and thank God, because the stress was getting to me. And I just wanted something to do to contribute something to our household, because we went from a big pay to a tiny little pay.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to make ends meet nowadays.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't help when I told him, I said, Joanne's going out of business. I'm going to have to bulk up, and start buying a lot more fabric and yarn, But
you'll go through it. You will. You'll have what you need, and you'll have a back stock, and you'll be able to do what you need to do and have it there. And if you can get it on sale, then, that justifies the means to the end.
Yeah, but just like I said, it just depends on the doll, like this doll, the steampunk doll. I looked at my fabric, and none of those she doesn't like any of them. So she kind of told me what she wants, and she's going to be a handful. I've been thinking about how I'm going to do her top and all this, at nighttime when I sleep. I never really sleep, it's in my dreams. Like I said, I start from the body, and when I wake up, it's like, okay, I got the pattern down, and I just start cutting.
Wow. See, that is so cool, because, that is the true essence of spirit. Like, you're connecting with a higher source to come up with that. You are like, you've got something feeding you that information. Like, this is what it's talking to you. You're creating that.
Yeah, and they do. They give you that. They tell me what they want. And like I said, I hope that I can get my material down to where I can start using the stuff that I have. But some of the dolls, they just don't want that. They want a certain style, and yours, I couldn't go with anything that I had because she just had to be fancy. She wanted all that, And on the side, I know you didn't ask for that lace, but it just seemed like it needed it.
I mean, it's absolutely.
I fell in love with the gold, and I know you said you wanted the gold on it. So
like, that's her skirt. So she has a skirt and it's like sewn on, and she has the kick plate.
And I thought it just needed that.
And then the gold trim, which was just gorgeous, with her eyes and her necklace, and then the back, of course, it's got the gold trim going down it too.
And it had the colors in your hair. You had to have the colors.
Yeah, and they all represent something too, which your red is your hot and your fire and your heart chakra and your blood pumping, and the gold is the divine, and then you've got the blue. I mean, everything has a reason, and my hair has got all of it. I've got the gold more in the back, but there's a reason for the colors that I put in my hair. And I change the colors in my hair depending on the type of people that I'm working with. Because if I'm connecting in a way that's, I'm not going to say harmful to me, but I have to boost my energy, I'll change the colors in my hair. At one time, I was almost all whitish, silver, white, gray. And I had a whole head of silver, white, gray. I have been all brown. I have been all black. I've been turquoise and blue all the way through. I've been gold and almost Halloween colors all the way through. And I've been red. And when my hair is mostly red, I channel a lot of anger. So there's a lot of things that I have to be careful with what I put on my hair. But it's important to me that the dolls worked with that hair pattern as well. Because the dolls are representing an aspect of me as well. Mm-hmm. And that's what I wanted. And beautifully done. Like, the gray, like I love her silver gray. And I think truly, like, of all the colors, the blue, green, and the gray, red was my happiest hair colors. Like, I was more at peace with those colors. When I've been totally red, it's been total bitchdom. Like, it just doesn't suit. I'm an Aries, so I shouldn't be totally red. I burn hot. But I love the neck tattoos.
I did one for a lady. She had a Harley. She wanted a doll for a Harley. So she was all full of tattoos. That doll had feathers and all different colors all over her neck, her face, her arms. And she turned out beautiful, but she puts it on her Harley. And I'm like, okay. She goes, that's going to be me. And
that's awesome. But see, that's
okay, because being on a Harley, that hair is going to be all over the
everywhere.
I don't know.
Well, and see, this one even has the chin line, so she matches me.
I remember that you're like, you forgot the line. You got to get the line. Okay,
yeah, the line is, and my line goes, she doesn't have a nose, but my line goes from my nose down. And that's a spiritual divide. That's the fine line in the sand. That is my war line, to show that I know what side of the spiritual war I'm on. And I've drawn my line in the sand. I know when I go to battle where I'm going to battle. And that came through a spirit too. And I had to do it. I mean, my spirits are very, kind of like the dolls. My spirits tell me things. And if I don't listen after 3 or 4 times, they get very adamant and they get very loud. And that one became very, very loud, that I had to do that. And as soon as I did it, it changed from the war is coming to the war has begun. And so I had to make up my mind before the war began. Had to know what side I was on. So
that's fascinating.
So I look at my doll and it makes me happy, because I know that there's an energy, there's a presence that when I carry her around, others will see that, or they'll ask. And then there's that story out there, for them to decide which side of the war they're going to be on. So see, you brought that to life.
Well, I try. I really do. Like I said, I like to know more about the customer in order to, make the doll them. I don't want it to be a reflection of me. I want it to be a reflection of that person. So
Greg says super channeling, and it is. That's exactly that's a great way to put it, Greg. You do channel that, and you're channeling at night, and the dolls are channeling through you to tell you what they need, because they know they're being created. They know their storyline, and that makes the difference.
and it's fun. Like I said, each one brings me joy. They really do. I've never had one that I just hated making. There was never any anger or hate or anything during it. Yours just freaked me out. That little guy. He just, I didn't. And then he was done, and it's like, gosh, I hate to give a lot of these dolls. I hate to part with because they turn out so cute afterwards.
I have to keep holding him up because he's spectacular. like look at those teeth. I got to get him.
He just and I'd never done a little doll like that, but he had to have the arms and the legs, and then after I made him, I'm like, that's what made me make a couple of the other little ones, just because I really enjoyed him.
And he has velvet pants.
He had a white shirt on him, and then she goes, "Nope, you can't have that shirt on." And he just ripped it off. He goes, "Take it off." I'm like, "Okay," because you wanted to make sure that you saw all those the ribs and the muscle. I think I lost you.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I lost you.
My internet just crashed.
Welcome. I thought it was your little guy because we were talking about him. I thought, he got a hold of her.
Well, and he may be. We've got media comment. It just came back on. Every time we have rain or snow or any wetness, our internet will go off and on and off and on and off and on. And Greg said, it froze. Hang on, Michelle. Julie will be back. But yeah, he did not want the white shirt. He did not want the white shirt at all. He's a turd. You're right.
That I was able to make your vision come to life. And like I said, that's what I really try. And that's why when I show it to the customers, I don't get upset if you say, oh, can you change something? Of course I will, because it's a reflection of that person. So if you had told me that, no, you need to do this, and that's what I did, I want it to be exactly what the customer wanted.
And she did. She made it. She changed it and made it. Well, she is coughing and yawning, and I'm past her bedtime.
Sorry.
Michelle, thank you. Zombie Girl, thank you so much for being on. Thank you guys as guests. Zombie Girl on Facebook, put your orders in. I cannot promote her enough because the gifts that she has given me with bringing my ideas and my passion to life. I hope you get feeling better, and thank you for not canceling. Thank you for being on.
Oh, I appreciate it. I had fun. I really did. I enjoyed it.
It's not scary. Everybody thinks it's so scary, and it's really not scary at all. Well, I mean, a little bit scary until you do it, and then it's not scary. I've done it so many. I have forgotten the name of my podcast before. I've gotten on to say something, and I'm like, "Hi, here we are."
That's kind of like that's what I was worried about tonight because my head's foggy with the head cold, and I don't think as well as I should because I'm so foggy right now. And
no, beautiful job, beautiful job. If you guys want to get a hold of her again, it's Zombie Girl on Facebook. You can place your orders. You can DM her and talk to her and send your ideas to her. Michelle, thank you so, so much. Good night. Go to bed. Get some sleep.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. You too. Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.